this snapshot and you come in here, like feel free to keep adding more and more in here, because the real estate transactions just take so much longer than a regular lead. You know, it's not a chiropractor, it's not a gym. This isn't going to be like you send them, you know, texts or emails for 3 days and then they come in and they claim their offer. This is buying a whole house, so it takes a lot longer to get someone to do that. And then if you guys have the other snapshot already, you probably recognize this, and you recognize it from Chase's chiropractic one. It's just, we have other options in here. Like if someone doesn't show up to an appointment, you have your appointment reminder campaign. So if we're using our calendar, we can go ahead and send them reminders straight in here. And then this is the booking requested one, which probably won't be needed for real estate, but I left it in here. This is basically if you don't want to auto confirm appointments and you want to confirm them individually, you can use campaigns like this. And then we have some funnels that go along with this, but my internet is very slow, so we'll see if we can actually get this to work.
Yeah.
For you guys.
I know the clean socks that were in the living room.
And Mama's drawer.
Which one is that?
I think it's like the second or third one down.
We,
Why did y'all break it thing and tie some shoelaces on for the handle?
if we can have you guys mute, that would be awesome. Chase, I feel like that's your fault. So this is a broken image right here, but if you go into our system, you can actually go to like Pixabay and Unsplash right inside our system. It's just a housing picture right here. But to give you an example, like if this is like your one home, like your luxury home or something like that, or an open house, this is the type of landing page you'd want to use where you have like a ton of pictures of it, and you could maybe even give like some details just about this house. Like, you know, it's got a pool, it's got this much acreage, it's got, you know, a jacuzzi tub, whatever. You're really trying to just highlight this property and get interest in it and have the lead fill out so that they can figure out more information or schedule a showing, something like that. And then, you know, you can put some information about the realtor in here, put some testimonials, and then the lead form again. And then this is going to be for sellers. So we didn't touch on sellers yet on the campaign level, but sellers are definitely way different than buyers. And I'd say most real estate agents want you to bring them sellers, but generally the ads, the leads are going to be more expensive. But a lot of time, like you can give people something like a seller's guide PDF, and that's kind of what this is built off of. But there's other cool things that you can do in here. So like if you have any ability with the realtor, or personally, like you have some sort of like plugin that you can put in here or embed, that's like, give us your address and we'll give you the value of your home. Like a home evaluation campaign can do really well, and you can plug that in here. So just whatever, like if you have any kind of PDF or helpful documentation for sellers that you can give away, something that will actually like entice them, or if you have some sort of like seller special, something like that, that's where you're going to want to use this. And this one, as you see, we try to keep them all pretty similar, but this one will actually have a thank you page. And then on the thank you page, you would click and like claim your PDF, claim your seller's guide or whatever it is. Yeah, so we'll see if we get the seller one to come up. And we have this campaign as well. So same thing, anytime in real estate, we're trying to really hammer people as much as we can. Put as many call events as you possibly can to make your realtors call their leads. They'll thank you for it later, I promise you. And then voicemail drops going after the call events can be really helpful too. So if they don't connect on these calls, they're still leaving those voicemails. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this whole template. We are going to include some Facebook ads with it, and we have the SOPs that we include with all of these as well, so that when you guys come in here, like you're not just looking at this like, what does all this mean and what do I do with this? So it's actually a step-by-step process of like, these are the like triggers, like make sure that you go to each one and turn them on. Go and replace the custom values and put in like the home address or put in your offer, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this one. Do you guys have some questions about this template or real estate or anything on high level?
The voicemail's allowed to be recorded. inside the system yet, or they still need to be updated or uploaded?
They still have to be uploaded, yeah.
Was this mainly for Google ads or Facebook ads? What was the main traffic source in your example?
The main traffic source in my example would be Facebook ads, but we do have the landing pages in here as well. So like if you want to use a Facebook lead form, instead of sending to a landing page, you can do lead form straight into these campaigns. Or let's say if you're running something on Google, you can bring them onto the landing pages that we have here, the funnel pages, and then it would be the same thing. They're filling out the form and then they're going straight into the campaigns.
Okay, thanks. I actually missed the first like 5 minutes or so.
I think I lost.
Yeah, that whoever that was, he broke up.
Gonna lose the last 5 minutes too.
And I didn't hit record until about 5 minutes in, so he's in big trouble.
It's okay. I think when we have the SOPs and we have the Facebook ads and everything out there, it will be pretty intuitive. And I'll go over it more in the video that we include with all the snapshots too.
Where do we go get the links for the snapshots and the SOPs?
So that is also slightly bad news. I don't know if you got that news this morning, Abby, but yesterday's outage from Google Cloud Services put the team a day or two behind as far as the tool that they were building that is going to incorporate funnels into snapshots. So they told me that Monday is when we'll be able to give all these snapshots out that have everything in them. However, on Friday, like we said, we should still be able to share with you a snapshot link and a funnels link to go with it. So you should still be able to get access to all this on Friday. It'll just be an extra step or two.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions about this, you guys, or real estate marketing or how to use it for high level?
Which of the landing pages have you tested so far, or have you tested any of the landing pages? And if so, which ones perform better?
So none of these have been tested because they're all just created in here. But as far as like the ads go that run along with these campaigns, I've tested all those ads. And it's really just going to be dependent on like your ad copy, your ad images, the locations that you're running it. But like anything, like we're not trying to basically say like, just exactly copy this, don't change anything. We're trying to tell you to take this as the base so that you don't have to start from scratch and then use your expertise and make it better and like keep testing and improving.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I'll add that there's going to be a new episode of the Spotlight Sessions coming out that we filmed yesterday with Josh, who's on the call, who's had some crazy success using the Power Dialer and the Power SMS in the real estate industry. So that's a great example of sort of how you could take this base, learn from people like Josh, incorporate his methods, and scale this. So that's going to air soon. I don't have the exact date, but it's going to be a good one. So keep your eye out for that.
Where's
So,
it
so,
airing?
so what you guys covered with Josh using the Power Dialer, is that for the realtors to power dial the leads that you get them, or you're prospecting realtors with the Power Dialer to pick them up as a client?
His process starts with basically where to go to get a list of names and phone numbers that's filtered by parameters, and then how to run that list through a couple of tools that'll really clean it up to make sure that the leads are all legit, and then use the Power Dialer, Power SMS to basically reach out to people. And I don't want to give away too much, but it sort of starts with like, hey, Chase, do you still live at whatever or own the house at whatever street? Are you interested in selling? Campaigns like that. So again, the episode will come out soon, but Josh had a lot of really interesting insights, and that's sort of one, angle that realtor marketers can take.
Josh,
Awesome. Thanks. We'll check it out.
Josh, are you using that for ISAs for the real estate?
You can. Yeah, you could.
Sweet. Are there any help videos on the Power Dialer or Power SMS?
Somebody just made one the other day, and someone in the community, can't remember his name, has some white label help videos. Maybe someone can, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, could drop it into chat. But we also, Josh, in the episode, he does a screen share and sort of goes step by step, which is awesome. So basically from the tool that he uses, the list comes straight in tagged. And if you have a campaign set to add those people to the Power Dialer or the Power SMS, they'll just be sitting there waiting. So you'll just log in and start banging away.
I did find one bug yesterday, just a heads up. You cannot use text templates in the one-off
Power SMS.
Power SMS. So
did you report that to anyone?
I was talking with Kate. I don't know if she forwarded that message on, but that'll give you some headaches if you don't know that.
All right, I'll make a note in our dev support list as well. Anybody else have any other questions?
So do we have any people on here that are currently running Facebook ads or Google ads for real estate? And if so, while we're all on here on the topic of real estate, what's something that you have found that's worked pretty well for you?
ISAs.
What type of ads?
No, ISAs, inside sales assistants.
Yeah.
Selling that as part of the package because they're not going to call them regardless. They save the number that calls them from the system, and then they just stop picking it up if they get multiple no connects. I've noticed that happening. And so just having an ISA that pounds the phone and sets appointments, our clients are getting 3, 4, 5x results than they did before.
Yeah, so you could almost make the ISA their own account inside High Level and just have them handle all the follow-up straight in there.
Right. Well, I just assign, essentially with the Power Dialer coming in and the Power SMS, we'll assign an ISA. I have one ISA that can handle the capacity of 5 clients based on about $1,000 a month in ad spend per. So they can handle about the amount of $5,000 worth of ad spend and hit them within 5 minutes. And then they just set the appointment right there from the system using the Power Dialer in their system. So the ISA just switches back and forth between systems.
Nice.
Ideally. But I haven't used the Power Dialer just yet. So that's why I was asking questions on that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. Like Power Dialer is brand new to me too. I've never actually run it in the wild. So the episode we did with Josh was great because he seems to by far have the most experience using it and was a part of building the product. So that'll be a really cool episode. And I think it'll open a lot of ideas for people once that airs.
Best landing page that we have for realtors is actually just a picture and then a contact form, nothing else on the page. So it's super simple. Best one out of the whole bunch.
Nice.
Yeah. I found too, like when I was running ads, like the images that I was using, like instead of making it like too complicated or something fancy, like if I just had like a regular picture of like a regular looking house, it almost outperformed all the like super nice looking pictures, all the super nice looking houses, because like people want to see something realistic.
Yeah, we found that same thing. It seems to be distracting if they start staring at the house too long. So you can just watch their mouse where they go. Yeah.
Yeah, we found that picking homes that are in the middle of the market is a big difference in lead costs, as opposed to going. But then we ran like $1.5 million house too, and those leads were only like $25.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen.
Yeah, it depends on the demographics in that area, I think.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Where is the power dialer located? Does it have to be released to the account or?
Nope. So let me do a screen share real quick. Where am I? Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
So basically, it starts with a campaign. So you would come into a campaign and you would make an event that is either manual SMS or manual call. And so when that lead hits that step, then they get pushed over to manual actions. So this manual actions is basically the power dialer. And basically they just stack up in here. And when they're in here, there'll be a start button. And you just hit play and then you can start pounding through them. So it's not, there's no area in here that actually says power dialer. It's just the power dialer is the combination of adding that step to a campaign and then somebody coming over to manual actions and rolling through them.
That's awesome.
Can you create a list with all the leads that you might have gotten? Someone, say a realtor's running a campaign, over several months, and they've got several hundred leads in the system. Can you select the leads and then put those into a power dialer campaign? Because I know you can do that with real estate specific CRMs.
So yeah, the way that you would want to do that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chase, but if you have them tagged with a particular tag on them, then you can just bulk request them into a campaign that has the manual call action in there.
Okay, and do you know if there's a way, I guess the answer might be kind of similar, to do that by tasks? So obviously with a lot of these realtors, they're going to be calling the leads, and then, maybe if they do talk to someone, or even if they don't, a task might be set to follow up with that person at some point in the future. And then again, with some of the other systems I've used, you could just organize all your leads by task. The task was called call, and then it would bring up that list of people that you had to call that day.
I don't think we have the capability yet to do that by task, but from what you just said, it seems like the same thing as tag. So if there was a tag called call, you could do it that way. The other thing that I know is smart lists are coming very, very soon. So with smart lists, there'll be way more capability to filter contacts by whatever parameters and then turn that filtered list into a list.
Yeah.
So, and then make triggers based on lists. So that I think should be rolled out by Christmas time, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's coming soon.
That would be cool. The other thing that helps that I've seen in the past too is in the tasks when you're working like hundreds and hundreds of leads, at least in my past experience, you add a lot of tasks. It's follow up with this person, call this person, send them this, do that. And one thing that was really convenient in that system was when you went to add a task, those core actions were all available in a pull down. So instead of having to type call or follow up or email or whatever, it was just you click task, and then in the subject line for the task, there's a drop down of those 4 or 5 key actions that you typically would do over and over again with a lead. And then not only does it save you a little bit of time for typing, but it's a way that you can sort the leads by whatever task they're categorized with. And if it was call, then it would set it up so that you could pull anyone who is tasked with call into a calling campaign with the power dialer.
Yeah, I mean the task functionality so far is pretty limited, but like we always used Red Booth, which is like an Asana. And so if you're using something like that has way more capabilities around tasks and project management, I mean, you could always do all that and then just have that one thing fire through a zap into a campaign that has a manual call or manual SMS step. So, you're still using a different tool, but you could still sort of build that same flow that will push people into the manual actions area where somebody just opens it up and has a list of people that they can start banging through.
Right.
All right. Anybody else? Questions of real estate or just anything in general?
Yeah, back to the your phone caller. Does it work something like phone burner, where it will recognize as you're going through that task list and you're making those phone calls, it will recognize whether it's a live person or it's a voicemail, and if it's a voicemail, you can go past it and it will leave a message, so you can just keep going, a pre-recorded message.
Josh, do you know how that? I haven't actually run through
Sorry, I
power
wasn't
dial.
listening. Sorry, what did you ask?
When you're going through the power dialer list, when you hit a voicemail, what happens?
Yeah, you have an option to leave a voicemail. I think they're going to be trying to build in features so you can press a button and it will drop a voicemail, but they don't have that built in yet.
So you can either just click next, or you could leave a voicemail manually and then
Exactly.
go next.
Yeah, you can hang up the call. Exactly.
So you said they're going to build in a feature where you can hit a button and you can pre-record a message. So if you have a list of 100 people, it's pretty much the same type of message you're going to give them. You can pre-record that message and then hit the button and it'll just drop that voicemail. And so it's leaving the voicemail where you're going on to the next call.
That's my understanding. That's what's coming.
Okay, cool.
Chase, so just real quick, you said that this snapshot will be available on Friday then?
Yeah, in pieces. Come next week now, we're going to be able to give everything to you in one snapshot. But as of Friday, we can give it to you in pieces. So we can give you a snapshot and then share a funnel link with you. And basically, we're going to put those things into a help doc in the, where is that? help.gohighlevel.com. And so you can just get access to it all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys make an announcement that it'll be in there at a certain time, or we just got to go there on Friday and snoop around?
I'm sure we'll put an announcement.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make an announcement, but you'll see a new, let me share my screen again.
Also, everyone, I just dropped the help link into chat. So eventually those help articles will have like the templates and snapshots and all the information there that goes along with these.
Yeah, I think we have it set up so far, but it's not live. So it'll be its own block like this that'll say industry snapshots.
Cool.
Can I ask a non-real estate related question? A lot of my users are having difficulty remembering to add the source as so we can keep track of where the lead came from. And I was wondering what other people are doing to track, okay, is this, because like we used CallRail, which you have a phone number associated with. So when somebody calls from a specific phone number, we knew what campaign they were on, and we could easily track where all the different, where we're making the money.
Mm-hmm.
So right now there's the source where when you create an opportunity, you can put in where that manually, but no one's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So wondering if anyone had any solutions, what they're doing and how they're tracking their different campaigns, tracking their different lead sources.
Mm-hmm. So are all the leads just coming in through phone calls, or do you have leads coming in from ads and forums and stuff like that?
Yeah, different things. And then specifically, we deal a lot with different lists. So if we want to know, okay, essentially tags. I mean, when it boils down to it, if we could just turn every tag into a source. So when we tag somebody, let's say probate, or we tag somebody with hot lead, that if we could somehow, and I was trying to figure out a good smart workaround, and
yeah, you might be able to do a zap, so a webhook that fires when a task is added. that goes to Zapier that then comes back might work. For forms, what I used to do was use Zapier paths. And so we would put parameters in the URL, so the Zap would fire, and then it would go down one of 3 paths based on, okay, is this in the parameters? If so, go down this channel that has the source set it as this. If not, go down this channel that has the source set as that. Problem with that is Zapier is limited to only 3 paths right now per Zap, which is kind of annoying. The other thing is that I know that the Twilio integration in general is about to get a huge upgrade. So basically it's going to be, from what I've heard, it's going to match almost all of the functionality of CallRail. So we should be able to tie a source to a number in the very near future natively. The only other thing I could think of is maybe you could write a Twimlet. And I don't know if you've ever checked those out, but Twilio has its own little language that you can write little apps that are pretty easy. So you might be able to write one that's associated with each of the numbers that goes out to Zapier somehow and then writes in something.
Okay. In triggers, there's add an opportunity, but for some reason that source was left out. Do you know why that might have been?
Good question. No.
Okay.
But I can throw that out there.
I'm just, yeah, I guess everyone else is figured out.
The other thing is, so the major rollout that's coming before the end of the year is analytics. And a lot of this might also be addressed in that huge rollout. So basically it's gonna pull in everything like Google Analytics, AdWords Analytics, Facebook Analytics, all into one place. So more robust options might be rolling out within all of that. I don't know that. I've seen some screenshots and it looks awesome, but I don't know the exact details of what's all going to be included. But I'll make a note internally that was there a reason we left source out as an option?
And Donna, yes, email stats are planned to be some of the stats that get rolled out. So you can already find some email stats if you go inside your Mailgun, because they're the ones actually controlling the sending, but we're trying to bring them native and have them be available within like reporting on high level.
On that note, I had actually asked the other day, I think in the Facebook group, currently right now, and I was told that this is correct, but just kind of want to check with you guys when it might be coming. I was looking for the functionality that notifies me visually that an email that I sent to a lead, for example, in a campaign had been opened, and that you guys don't have that yet. Is that true? Like, you know, the little email envelope is not opened when a lead opens the email, which in, you know, some other systems it does that, right?
Yeah,
no,
I think, yeah.
Not yet. Okay. It doesn't do that yet.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, kind of mandatory. I mean, pretty much every CRM can do that. And it's obviously super powerful to know that your emails are being opened and read.
Yeah, and you can see all that in Mailgun, but I agreed. And I've heard a lot of people say that it makes, you know, a lot of sense to be able to see that same thing in high level. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be part of the bundle rollout that's coming out.
Yeah, that's what I thought that person said. Can I ask an operational kind of question to really anyone that's running ads to realtors right now?
Of course. Sure.
Yeah. So maybe for Josh or anybody that wants to chime in, I've actually got a realtor client. It's my first realtor client, and I was just kind of wondering, for their ad budget, it's $1,500 a month. That's a decent budget, but is it a mistake to split that between Facebook and Google ads? Or considering it's a real estate client, you know, typically Google ads, the leads that are from those are going to be a little further down the pipe in terms of their home buying decision, because they're going to Google and typing homes for sale in whatever area instead of Facebook. They're just passively, you know, looking. And does anybody have any recommendation on if you'd split a $1,500 budget, you know, 50-50 or 60-40 between Facebook and Google, or would you just all run that from one traffic source at least to start until you really got some momentum?
So, I mean, I definitely am not a Google Ads person, so I maybe wouldn't be the best person to answer this, but I mean, I think as like a rule of thumb, when you're testing out a new client, like splitting the budget, if you're getting results on both ends, start looking at the cost per lead on both ends and the quality. And if you're tracking them and you know, like more Google leads are closing because they're higher quality leads and they seem to be further down, then, you know, next month or the third month, that's when you stop, you know, putting that money into Facebook if you're yielding more results with Google.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's always important to test both at the beginning of a campaign because every market's different, every audience is different. But it is always a catch-22, right? So it's like, is the client going to want way less leads that are more qualified, which, you know, should be delivered by AdWords, or do they want to see way more volume of leads that might not be as far down the buying path, which you should see from Facebook and Instagram? One piece of advice that I'd always give is, if you're running AdWords, always have a small budget set aside to retarget that traffic in Facebook and Instagram, because that can take the more expensive AdWords leads and, you know, give you way more of a shot at closing them. So that's, you know, I wouldn't run an AdWords campaign without a retargeting in Facebook and Instagram behind it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Anybody else? Any other questions, real estate or non-real estate related?
I got one.
Shoot.
I'm sorry. I'm late to this, and I just went to the group page for a technical question, and I saw this, so I hopped on. So I don't really know what the real estate snapshot is as a whole. Is this going to be something in a addition to high level that's focused just around the real estate industry?
Yeah, so we're basically going to roll out what we're calling industry snapshots starting Friday, where when you create a new location within your high level account, it asks you, do you want to start with a snapshot? And by default, you'll start seeing industries pile up.
Oh,
so
awesome.
when you choose one of those, it's going to preload in a bunch of campaigns, a bunch of triggers, and a funnel, or maybe more than one funnel. So essentially what we're trying to do with snapshots is give you a big head start so that you're not starting from scratch. And basically in our help docs, we're going to have a setup guide for each of the snapshots that will just sort of walk you through, hey, go here and set this or activate that to turn the whole thing on, quote unquote.
That's awesome. So specifically, I'm a real estate wholesaler. So we work with investors and all that, motivated sellers, blah, blah, all that stuff. Is this more geared towards like actual real estate agents and finding clients that way, or is this also incorporate that whole side of the industry?
So it's definitely geared towards more traditional real estate than, but I mean, it could be a good starting place anyway, and then take these campaigns and then adapt the language to what you need for,
yeah.
Like
the structure would still be the same anyways. It's just different copy, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it depends like what, like if you're trying to do like cash for home, like you're trying to get leads that are people who like are selling their homes and you're paying them cash or something like that. That'd be pretty similar. But then I also know some wholesalers who are trying to send campaigns out to real estate agents themselves and like foster those relationships to get real estate agents to send them. So it would definitely take some workaround with the copy on that, but I think it's a good starting point still.
Cool. That's exciting. Yeah, I work with a lot of realtors too, so I'll be definitely interested.
Yeah, and again, the common disclaimer is we don't want anybody to take any of these snapshots and literally point an ad at it and expect to have success. What we want to do is not have you start with a blank slate and just sort of give you ideas of like, great, that makes sense. I'll just change these words around and now it works for me.
Yeah, it's all about the testing.
Yeah, exactly.
Question on the snapshots. When you load in this new snapshot, I've already got a real estate snapshot in my system. So have you guys figured out a way, or is there a way you can tell me how to keep them more organized? Because I have, I think, 4 or 5 snapshots in there, and it's kind of getting a little messy. They're not mine. I didn't make them. So I'm kind of getting confused which one goes with which. Do you know what I mean? Each individual piece.
Yeah, so the way that I do mine is I make a new account for each snapshot. So like if you would look at my account, if I have a real estate one, I have an account with the real estate, and then I have one with like gyms, and then, you know, so on and so forth. And what you can do is like, rather than like, if you don't need the whole snapshot in every account, let's say you just need some of the campaigns and some of that, now you can just copy that campaign over into like the new client account that you actually need it, rather than dropping in the whole snapshot or having like 3 or 4 snapshots inside one account.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Definitely recommended to come up with your own naming convention, at least until we get folders, which yes, we too are begging for folders internally, and we'll be super excited when that rolls out. The whole campaign builder overhaul is going to be massive. But until then, just, you know, get good with your naming conventions, and like you'll see in the snapshots, the triggers that we're pushing are all numbered. So you'll want to add like something next to the number so that it helps you keep track of like, okay, these triggers are associated with that. But like Abby said, create a dummy location and name it template or dummy or whatever, and then just pull the pieces that you want into the real locations that you have as you need them.
Okay, that's a really good idea for the short term. I'm not on the unlimited account yet though, so I guess I'll have to do that if I want to do that, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Any other questions?
Folders, just folders. Folders, please.
Folders, yeah, I know. Believe me. When is this expected to release? When you say this, do you mean folders or these snapshots? Snapshots are going to be available starting Friday.
And they're going to be in the help section. So we dropped the link, and it's just help.gohighlevel.com/help. So you guys will see a whole snapshot section in there. Do you have any more questions? A couple last minute questions before we all hop off?
Hey, just want to add my second to the ability to see that an email has been opened. We're obviously using high level to prospect our own new clients. And so as we send an email, sometimes it gets bounced or we don't get that information unless we go to Mailgun to check it out. And obviously that's something that could just be pulled in through the API, I'm sure. And like everybody said, maybe just an indication on the email itself, hey, they opened it. And then you know that the client is actually progressing. And I think that's be a huge thing. So just wanted to add my second to that request.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely
talked
coming.
about several times. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys don't have any more questions, it's pretty much the stuff that's rolling out over high level over, I guess, like to the end of this year. We've got the power dialer or basically trying to replace call rail. That's getting worked on right now. Chase and I are going to be trying to do 20 to 30 at least of these templates. They'll all be released. We have a partner program going on. We're doing all the analytics that are going to be able to be on your dashboard within high level, but also creating reports that you could automatically send out to your clients, you know, pull whatever data you want to. So there's a lot happening by the end of this month and by the end of the year, really. So then we also have Hipaa Compliance that's happening right now. So the whole internal team at high level is going through our Hipaa Compliance training and having to get ready with that. So anyone who needs Hipaa Compliance moving forward, I think starting in December, at the end of the year probably, you guys will be able to get Hipaa Compliance if you need it. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot moving on.
Yep. The only other thing I think that we want to mention is that we're also working on a bunch of materials and stuff to help you sell to other affiliates, but also sell to like the platform as SaaS white labeled to your clients. So next up on my list is a really cool landing page that's going to help you do that. We just finished a slideshow deck that will be included. And if you want early access to that, you just ping me in Slack and I'll send you the link. And so, yeah, that basically we want to make it even easier for you. Oh, and a white labeled demo video is coming very soon as well. So we want to make it really easy for you to sell to other affiliates and also sell the platform as itself. Cause we think a lot of people don't think about it that way, but it's oftentimes the easiest sale to make is just selling, under your brand, the platform itself as software. So yeah, all that's rolling out soon. A lot of stuff, but it's all in the works.
I even just thought of some more actually. So like to go along with that, we're trying to make it like as easy as we possibly can to make you guys more money and to get more clients. So like we have the funnel builder right now that's made for more traditional funnels, but we're also like beefing up the features in there. So we'll have like navigation bars and stuff like that. So you can actually start using the funnel builder to build real websites, like multi-page websites, because we think like one of the easiest sales would be like going to clients who have these old outdated websites. And if you're like, hey, I'll build and control and basically host your website, even if you charge them like $50 a month or something like that, if they wanted no more marketing and nothing else and all this, chances are they still will not fire you completely because you will still have their website. You will own their front door. So that's another thing that we're trying to roll out by the end of this year.
All right, cool. Last minute questions, going once, going twice.
Just want to say that's awesome, guys. Thanks for all your hard work. All these features are just blowing my mind every time I do one of these and you guys say what's going on. It's like, it's really good. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, we're excited, just as excited as everyone else, and trying to keep up with it, just like everybody else.
That's why we come in here. It's going back and forth between us as we remember like things that are coming out.
Yeah, and you guys handled the outage yesterday really well too. Like, if anyone's run a complex software CRM system, especially cloud-based, that kind of stuff just happens. So you guys did a great job, I thought.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but like we said, we wanted to be able to give you everything in the snapshot on Friday, but that unfortunately got pushed till Monday. So whatever you need on Friday, you'll be able to get in 2 pieces, and then starting next week, it'll all be bundled up into one. And I think that will be passed to everybody, right? The ability to make a snapshot that has funnels in it, Abby?
I believe that's the goal, yeah. We'll have to double check and make sure that it's not like a beta test running out first, but I think that's the goal for Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I think like, Chase, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be doing this every week, like moving forward. That's gonna be like our goal is like every week at this day, and so far this time, we'll hop on here, we'll go over another snapshot, we'll be able to answer questions, we can talk about kind of what's going on at high level. So yeah, feel free for any of you to show up next week and we'll be here hashing it out.
Yeah, and feel free to ping either one of us if you want to see if there's like a specific topic you want us to cover one week as well on the Wednesday Q&A. But otherwise, jump on with any questions or just to hang out. All right. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.